Chan- Chandrayaan 3 is launched by ISRO. It, its full form is Indian Space Research Organization. Its headquarters are in Bengaluru and Andhra Pradesh. It was launched on 14th July to 2 p.m. ISRO also shared a message from the satellites to its centers, which read Mission Operations Complex. ISRO Tracking and Command Network. This is Chandrayaan 3. I am feeling lunar gravity. It is near the moon. The Indian Space Research Organization on 5th August complete, com- completed the lunar orbit insertion (LOI) to successfully put Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft into the moon's orbit. The LAI maneuver was performed from ISRO telemetry tracking and command network in Bengaluru. Chandrayaan 3 has been successfully entered into the lunar orbit. A retro running at the was was commanded on the mission operations complex in Bangalore. The space agency said after the completion of the cruel maneuver, ISRO on the social media platform posted Chandrayaan 3 mission. This is Chandrayaan 3. I am feeling lunar. It has reached the moon's gravity. Moon. It is near the moon. Yes. Yes.
Mm, I did not really prepare much, so
So you can ask the question to Aryan about the science according to his age.
okay, okay. Aryan, do you know how aeroplanes work? Like the perspective in which it's built in?
What?
Do you know how aeroplanes work? Like the perspective in which they're built in?
Yeah. I I don't know much about it, but I know
Yeah,
that
you can just say briefly like how like how humans really developed the aeroplane like
I
you
know
might have learned.
four forces that act on it to fly. Lift, gravity, thrust, and drag.
Yeah, yeah, good. Do you know the difference between an aeroplane and a rocket, right? Can you just say one or two?
About uh, an aeroplane does not get too high. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am there, sir. Hello. Yes, sir. Sure. So, good evening. I am Mrityunjay, and I am doing currently pursuing my bachelor's in technology in computer science in Bangalore, and I am interested in more. I am more inclined towards astronomy, and currently also I am reading about quantum physics. Thank you.
So Aryan, you have any question? Then you can talk with the Mrityunjay ji and Kamya also. He or she is also suggest some good idea for you. And also one question is also pending. What is the difference between plane and rocket?
Oh, a, a aeroplane is does not get in space, but a rocket can.
Logically, you can speak about the logically way.
Aeroplane,
ये तो मेरे को भी पता है.
Hello, good evening. I see
good
a
evening.
lot of good evening, Aryan,
Good evening, sir.
Naveen, Pankaj ji, Kamya, and Mrityunjay. Mrityunjay is already showing that there is something on the moon. Hello?
So there were humans, sir. Now moon is empty with trash.
Let me just. Acha, Mrityunjay is joining us for the first time, no? Is it?
Sir? No,
Mrityunjay,
sir.
you
It's
are
my
joining
second
us
time actually.
second time. You are from where?
I'm from Bangalore.
Okay. So, what are you doing?
So I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in technology in computer science.
Oh, you are studying?
Computer science. BTech in
Yeah,
computer
okay.
science, first year.
Oh, oh, I see. Good. Uh, so, what questions you have today?
So today I am in search of questions.
You don't have any question?
No, sir. Not
So,
by the,
Aryan, you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question today? Either you ask questions or I will ask questions. So if you don't
So
ask, I will ask.
uh,
And what about Kamya's? Hello, Kamya?
Yes, good morning.
Good. Yeah, good morning.
Sir, I was researching about the types of rockets, so you have something to say about it?
Types of rocket.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what did you learn in your research? Why don't you tell us? Then we will add to it
Sir,
whatever we do.
I just started, so I do not go deeply. So I want to hear from you. Like,
Okay, let's ask some basic questions about rocket. That why do we need to have a very powerful rocket? Why do we need that? Do you have any idea why we need so much of power?
sir,
Yeah,
to
of course.
We need
overcome
the
gravity.
To overcome gravity.
Yes, sir.
No, did you say that to overcome gravity we need this, is it? No, what you said just now is no, just to overcome gravity we need to have powerful rockets, isn't it?
Yes, sir. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the correct answer. Now, why does the rocket, I mean, how can the rocket go up? Can we use the principle of, let us say, aircraft like, say, aeroplanes and all that? Can a rocket work on the principle of aeroplanes? Hello?
No, no, sir.
No, no, see, all the rockets, they utilize only one principle, that is the Newton's third law,
Yes, sir.
that
Newton, sir.
to every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. So, which basically ultimately means that the momentum is conserved. So, linear momentum is conserved,
Second
angular
law.
momentum is also conserved. So, in this case, we want to go up. Let us say, suppose I throw a stone upwards. If you throw with lesser velocity, just the stone goes a little bit up and comes down. If you throw with a more velocity upward, again it goes a higher height and then again comes down. You all, I think, Kamya must have read these equations, no? V square is equal to 2gh. So if you know the velocity with which you are throwing, you can know what is the height. Now there is something called escape velocity. That with that velocity, if you throw something, the stone will never come back. That is called the escape velocity.
Sir, like
So
it will exit through the outer space. Like,
yeah, it will exit. It will not come back on Earth. It will either circle around the Earth or it will leave the Earth's gravitational field and go away. So that is the escape velocity. So if you give in that equation v square is equal to 2gh, g value you know. So
9.8.
yeah, so if you have to give a certain velocity to escape from the Earth's gravitational force. So, and that is a tremendous, I think it's 11 kilometer per second, something like that you have to give. Now, this presently the Chandrayaan which has gone, what it has done is it has to conserve some fuel. What it has done is that it just, had something first rotating around the Earth, I think 5 or 6 times, gradually into higher and higher orbit, going away from the Earth in the orbit. Then suddenly, yeah, I think today at around 7 o'clock, they fired another engine to change its velocity so that it escapes from the Earth and goes towards the moon. So right now, just now I saw in the TV that it is already gone into the lunar orbit. But you all will be surprised that we still, I mean, they haven't told us this thing, but what is true is that we don't know as to how accurately it has gone into lunar orbit. So that will be decided after some time. So there could be small errors, and even the rocket can just go around moon and just run away from there. It can, so if the orbit is wrong, or it can go and just collapse on the moon, it can happen. So it has to be accurately, we expect the moon to have, the rocket to have fired, so that it makes the calculated orbit which was designed for. So people have done it, they are now monitoring it. We will know it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow whether the orbit is correct or not. So it has happened just 1 hour back. Hopefully, so it's going in the right orbit. Many countries, they sent rockets, and then there was a small error, and the rocket got, went into the wrong orbit, and they didn't achieve the results. But we hope this time everything will be okay, I think. Are you all watching the TV? So rockets also, to give more and more power, no, initially you have to have a fuel, that means something which you ignite and you throw it away. So if the mass with some velocity comes down, the rocket goes up. Very simple. Third law of Newton. That is how it works. A plane, when it moves, no, it uses atmosphere, air, thrust. But a rocket does not use that. It uses just the momentum conservation law. So, oh, now Brenda has also joined in. So welcome, Brenda.
Good afternoon.
Uh, yeah, in India it's almost night now, about 9:30.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we are going to, India has launched, just for Brenda, I wanted to tell that India has launched a rocket to the moon, so which will land on the moon. So all along these days, it was, circling around the Earth. Now it has changed its course and now it's going towards the moon. Just 1 hour back. So, and just to recapitulate, it's going to land somewhere near what they call the place which is called South Pole. It's going to land somewhere, the part which we don't see. So there the temperature is very low. It's very near to that. This will go down, and then the vehicle will come out of the that rover, and it will move around the moon collecting samples. So that will be for 15 days. It is planned for 15 days. It can be more also. We are interested in this part of the moon. Everybody is interested. In fact, everybody in the world, those who are dealing with the rockets, are interested in this flight because it's going to land in some place which is a place where rockets have never landed. That side of the moon, which we don't see, near to that. So we want to know what is the characteristic of that there. And in landing, no, this Indian rocket is making something that it is going to select where to land. That is why there is a uncertainty where it will land, because it has got a laser beam it's going to throw, and it doesn't want to land if it is a big rock and things like that, because then the movement will be very difficult. So it will decide by scanning the surface of the moon. Wherever it finds a plain surface, it is going to land there. So that is why the scientists at the Space Center are not telling you the exact time when it will land. You must keep on watching. It could be 23rd of August, or it could be even earlier also.
Yes, the moon have two sides. One is with light, and the other is a dark. But
Yes.
it's possible go to the side dark. Yes.
No, no, it's possible. There are other rockets which was launched by USA, and even they have circled around that, but nobody landed on the other side. And then nobody, even this one is not landing, or it is just landing at the border of the two sides. You know, there is one side which we see all the time, and there is other side which we don't see. So it is just lying. It is going to get down at the border there, border of these. So everybody is watching because we want to understand how is the surface there, how is the what kind of earthquakes take place. There is a what kind of materials are there, how is the temperature, things like that. And so, is there any other question about this lunar mission?
Yes, Aryan, you raise hand, please.
Sir, where is this going to land?
Yeah, that is what I said. That no, we know but exactly. We don't know where it will land because it will. We don't have an idea of what kind of how big the rocks are there. So it has, it is going to land at a place where big rocks are not there. So it has got a, laser. By laser, it will try to scan the area, and where the area is plain, it is going to land there. This is done with most of the rockets which land on moon actually. So, and particularly this area we don't see very clearly in our telescopes. So it has to find out where to land. So how many of you believe that there are human beings staying on the moon? Can there, Aryan, do you believe that there are human beings or life on moon?
No, sir,
Why?
because there is no water.
Oh, there is water actually. The
Yes,
earlier
it is
lunar
in
mission,
ice form.
in the
Ariane,
ice form.
yes, Ariane explained the other day is because it's so hot and so cold in the moon.
Yes. It is extremely hot in day and extremely cold in night.
Yes, correct. You are. And mind you, this is going to land at a place where there will be a day for 15 days. So moon one day is about 15 days, no? Because it makes one rotation in 28 days around, isn't it? So so it is only in 15 days, and there are solar panels also attached to the rocket. So unless it doesn't get some sunlight, it cannot function also, you see.
Yes.
So we are all expecting something to happen in the next 15 days, 15, 20 days.
I read in the news about one astronaut is waiting in the space because the spacecraft is, I think, it's not working and is waiting for help around 10 months ago.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't keep track of that way. Which? Which astronaut is that? US or the Russian?
No, it's for USA.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was not keeping eye. When did you read this?
Yesterday I read
Oh,
this. One astronaut is waiting for help in the space because the machine is not working. Uh,
okay.
NASA lost the communication with the spacecraft.
Yeah. Yeah. That must be happening in the International Space Station. There is a space station which in the USA has set up for doing experiments. So people go there, then again come back, then go there. Some other people go, things like that. So it is always manned. So people have to go and come back. Yeah, sometimes I did not actually read the details about it. Do you know any other detail about this? I will look.
Only
Yeah.
yes, only read about that. The NASA lost the communication with the astronaut, and
Hmm.
this person is waiting in the space for more than 10 months. We need help because I don't know if that person returned to the Earth.
Oh,
He
acha,
is
okay.
waiting.
Okay. I will go into the NASA the communications and I will try to figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but it has no with the International Space Station, the communication is not lost. It is still communication is going on. That I know.
I
I'll
think
read
she's
it and
talking
maybe.
about.
Yes, she's
Yes,
talking about.
I think she's talking about Voyager 2.
Oh, Ajay, yeah, maybe yeah, you're talking. Yeah, oh, the Voyager 2 doesn't carry any astronaut. Voyager 2, there was a Voyager 1, Voyager 2. It is Voyager 1 actually. Voyager 1, they lost contact with Voyager 1, but recently, again, a small signal has been obtained and they are trying to repair it. And that Voyager 1 has gone out of the solar system actually. It is now trying to send signals all over the universe that we are on the earth, we are moving in a rocket which is sent by the people on earth. The location of earth is like this. There is a picture of man and woman in that and things like that. And it is in coded way, it is being sent all around the universe. So that if someone is there somewhere, some intelligent life is there, they will capture it and they will try to decode that message. So they had lost contact with that Voyager 1 and recently they say that some signal has been obtained. So they are trying to once again repair the whole system and maybe they might get the signals. They might get pictures also, but it has gone too far away actually, beyond the solar system.
Okay.
Oh, so you are talking about the, yeah. So no, there is no astronaut in that. There is no, it is just unmanned spacecraft. Yeah. Oh, and recently also India sent a spacecraft which again sent from one rocket, 7 satellites were thrown into space for different countries. So India is also trying to make some money with it, space missions. Actually, there is one for Arian. I was just seeing that there is a channel, are you aware? Discovery Channel, Discovery Science Channel. Hello?
Yes, sir. Discovery Channel is available
Does he? Yeah, Discovery Science
television.
channel gives, how the universe works and things like that. And very nice. I see sometimes it is very nice. We can also see it's in a very plain, popular language, popular broadcast, how the universe works.
Sir, I have a
Yes.
question, sir. When I see the moon या सन ओनली इन राउंड वे सर, जो उनका जो एक ही फॉर्म में हमें दिखाई देते हैं, जो कि वो गोलाकार रहते हैं, तो सर व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड?
नहीं, फिर से बोलिए, आपका आवाज कट गया था, फिर से बोलिए तो।
सर जब मैं मून को देखता हूँ या सन को देखता हूँ ड्यूरिंग द
हाँ।
सनराइज एंड सनसेट, तो
यस।
उसमें वो जो गोलाकार ही एक ही शेप में रहता है उनका, जो तो क्या रीजन क्या है सर उनका?
हाँ, अच्छा, एक रीजन जो आप किताब वगैरह सब पढ़ेंगे तो क्या होता क्या है कि मान लीजिए नहीं, एग्जैक्ट गोलाकार तो पृथ्वी भी नहीं है, एग्जैक्ट गोलाकार मून भी नहीं है, एग्जैक्ट सर्कल जो कहते हैं वो सन भी नहीं है, बट इट इज वेरी नियर टू सर्कुलर ऑल ऑफ देम, इवन अर्थ लुक्स, पर एग्जैक्ट तो है नहीं अभी ये भी। पर इसका कारण इसके पीछे क्या होता है कि ये सभी जितने भी बने हैं, I'm sorry, Brenda. Sorry, I started speaking in Hindi. I'm sorry. No, so
Okay.
this Earth and Mars and planets. See, ultimately, what happens is that the gravitational force acts radially, is towards a center. So what happens is that if there is a ununiform distribution, gradually they get pulled in, and it makes a very circular, near spherical like arrangement actually, because the gravitational force is always towards the center. There is a center and towards it. So that is why all of them, they take over time. Initially even Earth was not circular, so gradually it becomes circular actually, particularly when suppose the most part of the Earth, suppose it is a molten thing, means it is liquid like state, then it will become circular, you see. Like say if you see a drop, small drop, if you see, they become circular.
Yes sir, a small
Yeah,
drop.
yeah, so similar thing happens. It's only when big drop is formed, the surface tension takes part, then you will find that it is no more circular. But in case of Earth, it's only the gravitational force that works, which is central. It is called a central force in the sense that force is towards the center. So there is a tendency that all of them will become circular. But asteroids, comets, those who are very small, they don't become, because it will take half, unless it is not molten, it will take a huge number of time to make it central, circular like or spherical like thing. So that is the main reason.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, it's kind of an abstract one. So suppose you imagine that there's a rubber sheet, and it's an elastic rubber sheet, and you throw some balls to the middle of the sheet. So the
Hmm.
balls get collected in the middle of the sheet. So
Hmm.
it's like a 2D sheet, and the balls are collected on the middle in some shape, in a ball
Hmm.
shape.
Hmm.
So can it be possible that in the 4D space-time, due to gravity, the same effect occurs in 3D? So that's why you can say that the Earth is spherical, and the planets with more mass, or you can say more balls, are spherical in four-dimensional manner. If we see the space-time, like I said, the analogy of 2D, the balls are connected in a bowl shape. So can it be in 4D that the Earth is spherical because of this thing? According to Einstein, there's relativity. According to space-time and geodesics.
Well, I do not know what you are saying, but no, no, that you might be correct. But I haven't looked at this from this angle. Now, the space-time thing is a very complex concept by itself. All it means is that where there is a mass, there is a space gets distorted.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I'm speaking about that thing only.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Imagine in this way, like you have seen that how professors and how people demonstrate gravity using space-time, that elastic sheet, no? So they demonstrate gravity by placing a big, heavier mass in the middle of a sheet, and the sheet bends down, and they put marble balls around it, and the marble ball spins. Have you seen those things, like those videos or demonstrations anywhere?
well, what I would say that you could be correct, you could be incorrect. You give me time to think about it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, but in general, all even in three-dimensional space, and even with simple Newton's law, no, one can explain that why all the planets they try to acquire spherical shape. Actually.
Yes, sir. Like using Newton's laws, we can explain, but uh,
Yes,
like in the space time, it's a more logical approach to that this spherical theory, because we're
or
not in
maybe
a 2D.
you may be correct. Yeah, you may be correct. You may be correct.
Yes, yes, actually, I was wondering about this fourth dimension like since many days. So when you were explaining about why was Earth round, so I just think struck in my mind that can't this be possible?
Mhm. You may be correct. I don't say, but you give me some time to think about it.
Yes, sir. No worries.
Maybe that could be the more generalized expression, understanding of the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
But what
Yes.
we know is that about the space-time thing. So um, one important thing is, like say, suppose there is a sun. So if the light comes from far distance, because of the curvature of the space-time, not space. Remember, space-time. The
Yes, sir.
the light also bends. You know. So that's the impact which the gravitational force makes.
Yes, sir. So, but actually, the way you're saying and the way you're imagining is that you're imagining a flat plane where light comes and when an arrow comes and an arrow bends. Is it, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But imagine a spherical ball, like a spherical, like how light wave actually is a spherical ball, and it is bending over a spherical gravitational influence. So I'm imagining like that in a four-dimensional plane, in a four-dimensional way. So like you're imagining a 2D way. I'm telling about the four-dimensional part.
Right.
Yeah. So like imagining a spherical ball coming and like bending over another one.
No, 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 no. In case of light, the concept of ball does not come at all in the picture. Actually, it
No,
is
sir.
simply that
Actually, I'm not. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
What I'm saying that let us say suppose light travels in a straight line unless there is no gravity. Since light doesn't have mass, so gravitational force doesn't act on it. Newton's gravitational force doesn't act on it. But what Einstein said that the gravitational force changes the curvature of the space-time. And since the photon travels in the space-time, so it travels along that curvature. So that is what we call bending of the photons. So in case of photon, it is very interesting and it bends. So photon doesn't have a mass, so there is no gravitational force on it. But then it bends just because the space itself has got bent. I mean, actually, we shouldn't say space has bent, it's the space time which gets bent. It's a little bit difficult concept, but this is the way people think.
Yes, sir. It's a much generalized way, but I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
thinking
You
in
may,
a
you may be,
four
you may
time.
be correct. You may be correct. You give me some time to think about it.
Yes, sir. So like I was saying that imagine when you're seeing a light source, it's emitting light in all directions, right? Like it's in a spherical form, it's emitting the light.
Hmm. Right.
So yeah, so if you imagine the whole thing, like the whole a whole light wave in a spherical form, like it's traveling on all directions, so it will be spherical, right? So that spherical form bending over our geodesic produced by an object with mass. So that thing I'm imagining in a four-dimensional manner.
Hmm. No, what I'm saying that in case of light, it is see as per Newton's theory, light cannot bend if there is a gravitational force on it. But that's what Einstein said. That's not correct. And now there is enough proof, evidence is there that light will bend, but that bending is not due to the force, but due to because this whole space-time curvature has taken place, has got curved, so it bends in that. No, you may. I think give me some time to think about that. If the space-time thing which you said can also explain this fact. Thanks for this question. Right.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, Aryan,
uh,
what is
how,
the question?
sir, how does electromagnetic force work?
How does?
Electromagnetic force
Uh, yeah, complete your question. How does electromagnetic force?
work. Work.
No, this is not a question of working. Now, we said when the universe was created, it appears there was only one force. There was only one force. So that one force has, well, this is a theory, okay? So what it means is that this electromagnetic force, how does it work? Means at no, now we can't say that how does it work actually. It works because it is a force and it has a particular nature. Like the electromagnetic force has a particular nature. Strong force which is felt between a proton and a proton has a particular nature. Then you have got radioactive beta decay, so that is caused by the weak force. And then you have gravitational force. So now people know that in the beginning there was only one force, but as the universe has evolved, that one force has now is getting shown in four different ways. So, an electromagnetic force is a very interesting force. Amarnath ji has also come. Good evening, sir.
Good evening
Yeah.
to all
Good
of you.
evening, sir.
So, electromagnetic force is a very interesting force in the sense that the when the electricity moves, it creates magnetic field, and when the magnetic field changes anywhere, it creates electric field. Very interesting. That is why we call it electromagnetic. In 17th century, people thought that electric force and magnetic force, these are two different forces. But then when Maxwell came, he suddenly found that actually they are one and the same force. One will generate the other. If there is a electric current, you get a magnetic field as you get in your fan, and in the fan you see the electric current is there that produces magnetic field that moves the magnet, things like that. And if the magnetic field changes anywhere, it will create electric field. So it is a people earlier thought that these are two different forces, but no, they are interconnected. So they gave the name of electromagnetic force.
Sir,
And now
what
we
would
know, yes,
sir, what would happen if a solar flare hit us right now?
yeah, solar flare, if it hits us, we are very lucky actually. We are very lucky in the sense that we have a magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field is there. So that protects us, that solar flare, those ions which they come because of the magnetic field, they, they do not strike us. They go towards the polar region where you see those auroras, you can see that, but it never strikes us. Had the magnetic
Yes,
field not been there, we would not have existed.
yes, sir.
And that
Sir,
is the reason you
I,
see Mars also has a similar, but Mars doesn't have much of magnetic field, unfortunately. So that is the reason why people say that there is no possibility of life on the Mars because there is no magnetic field, so they cannot stop the solar flares. And solar
So
flares
what
are
if
very
the
dangerous things.
solar flare is stronger than the magnetic field of Earth?
it will stop.
Well, luckily it's not. Well, it can become stronger. By stronger, we mean if the velocity of the particle are so huge that it can even penetrate, then it can penetrate. But then whatever we get right now, like say the cosmic rays when they come from different nebula and supernova and all that, they penetrate and they land on the Earth. But solar flares, because of the magnetic field, we get shielded. In fact, life on Earth was possible simply because there is a magnetic field. Had there been no magnetic field, there would not have been life on Earth.
Sir, then what about a CME?
What about the
CME, a
what is
cosmic
CME?
mass ejection, a cosmic
Cosmic
mass ejection.
cosmic
So
mass?
So
What do
sometimes,
you mean?
he's saying about coronal mass ejection, CME.
yes,
Coronal mass ejection, which comes from the sun. You are meaning?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yes.
sir.
What? There was a CME back then, near 2000. It was as strong as the 18s. I
Yeah.
I don't know the name. It was
No, no, no.
complicated.
No, no. You correct. In fact, even recently, I think last year also it was expect. Why last year? This year only. You see, sometimes the ejection becomes so powerful that some of them do penetrate, and in fact, it happened now when I don't know when all over the world, the electricity went away because that happened.
Sir, yes, there was a most powerful in the 1800s.
Some time. So it keeps on
18 to
happening.
2000.
It keeps on happening. Recently, It was supposed
Yes.
to happen, but it wasn't that strong.
Sir,
Yeah,
there
No,
but
was
sir.
if
Actually, it
a
that
movie.
happened.
happens, your TV, you'll get distortion in the TV, and if it is still more powerful, the lights will go out and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Means
In
they,
the 18th, there were typewriters. They were sparking electricity.
right, exactly. Yeah, you know it. Yes, that is true.
It's
And
called the Carrington event.
Mm,
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. So
Event
whenever
as powerful as the.
you get all these terms, you must try to understand them, what it is, what it means, how it happens, why it happens,
हाँ
what it does.
अ,
All these questions
आपने
you
ये
should ask
कल
to
जो फोटो
yourself.
लिए थे वो जरा भेजिए ना हमको.
I get forget. Sorry.
अरे आपका ड्रेस ठीक से, आपका ड्रेस हमको क्या मतलब है, हमको अब चाहिए वो फोटो. आपका ड्रेस वाला काट देंगे, उसको नीचे कर देंगे, आपको फिर भेजिए ना. आपका ड्रेस कौन देखता है, हमको दूसरे काम के लिए उसको जरूरत है.
क्या हुआ?
ओके बाय. सॉरी.
हेलो,
No,
अमरनाथ
sir,
जी
I
आप कुछ
think
कह रहे थे?
Amarnath sir. No, sir, actually, Amarnath sir was calling to other person by mistake here
ओहो,
also.
अच्छा.
Yes.
Yeah, Aryan,
सॉरी
you
अबाउट
can.
दैट.
Yes, Aryan want to say something.
हाँ, अमरनाथ
Yes,
जी, अमरनाथ जी.
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ, नहीं,
यस.
कुछ कह रहे थे आप.
No, I was. I yesterday I was. I met Dr. Parmeswar Jha. He's a dad of Ashish Jha. He was
हाँ, हाँ.
visiting here, and he was visiting with a thing which was very related to a student like Aryan. So I just called my wife. We had taken a group picture, that send me that picture so that I can share with you guys a picture of a 15-year-old boy, and I'm going to tell you a story about him right now. Once you guys are done, if you give me the
No,
turn to
tell,
speak.
why don't you tell now?
Okay. So Aryan, this is interesting for you. How the life is in America for students. So yesterday I met a 15-year-old boy. I think he told me that he is in grade ninth or 10th in
Hmm.
high school. Huh. So what happens is, in the summertime, before you end your summer school here in May, normally the high school students, they participate in different competitions to go to different high level schools for the some kind of higher education or summer program or research, those kind of activities. So students don't simply stay home, like starting like ninth or 10th grade. In the summertime they are doing something. So in this
Hmm.
process, this 15-year-old kid, he is living, his family is in California and Los Angeles, and
Hmm.
he had competed to participate in a something on a neurology class for for almost for 1.5 month, like 6 weeks class in John Hopkins University. John
Oh, I
Hopkins
see.
is one of the top medical university in the world. It's just like
Yes.
Harvard is known. John. So a 10th grader student was attending John Hopkins universities for 6 weeks, and he was getting lessons from big doctors and scientists on different subject. You can check out the John Hopkins University on the website. And uh, so so his grandfather had come yesterday to pick him up, because he John Hopkins University is about in it is in Maryland or somewhere in that area, and it is about 4 hours by train. So he came here by train, and then his grandfather was picking up, and now from here he will go back to his home tomorrow. So that is the one part of the story, that how is the technical life of even the high school students. And second part is that he's underage right now. He's only under 15, although he was, I hope Poonam sends me the picture. He was taller than me and Parameswar Jha, although he's only 15 years 15-year-old boy. Yeah, in the picture, he was the tallest. So if I get the picture, I'll send you guys. But the other interesting part was that uh, you see how the security works in this country. That's another thing. Since he's underage, so John Hopkins University brought him to train station and handed over him by signing the papers and everything security to the Amtrak train. So now he was under control of Amtrak train. From there, again, he was under Amtrak train control since he's underage. And then yesterday, when he came to the train station in Trenton here, our station, then the police officer, on behalf of the train, transferred him to his grandfather. And then again, he signed the paper and everything, and both of them, and that officially transfer is done. So this is how, if the underage wants to travel, they can travel here in this country, and there is a system in place that even if you or your family member is not there, he or she can go to school, colleges, whatever, attend the functions and come back. So that was, I think I am going to share the video. I have the video. I don't know if Poonam sent me picture or not. I'll check. If not, I'll send you the video at least of the train station, which I took when the train was coming. So this is the short story I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it is very nice too. That means that boy must have been very, must be a genius, to have
He is.
attended John Hopkins.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, he is three brothers, so he's the youngest, and other. This was his first time competing and then going to event like this. He said that his brothers are all veterans in this. Every summer they have been going. So I think probably now they
Oh,
are in the college. Oh, his oldest brother is already now a software engineer, and second brother I don't know. He didn't mention about him, but he's the youngest. So this is the story about him. And then another story is about the same family. Dr. Ashish Jha is his uncle or his son of Parmeshwar Jha. So Parmeshwar Jha was saying that Monday, this Monday, so he will have lunch with Ashish Jha and President Biden in White House. So
oh,
you
good.
can imagine, huh? So
Yeah, very nice.
Ashish So Ashish Jha, since he is the doctor of the, he is the COVID jar or COVID chief right now, and so I think he is honoring his family, Dr. Biden. So Parameswar Jha and his wife, they are going tomorrow evening to Washington D.C. from here, from this New Jersey, and Ashish Jha's family who are in Boston, his wife and his kids, they are coming from Boston. So they will have lunch and little in recognition of Ashish Jha's program in White House. That's why they have Biden has invited all his family members, and he doesn't know exactly what will happen, but he said that it is expected a recognition meeting. That's what it is, and we'll have lunch with President Biden and all in his son's recognition, Ashish Jha's recognition. Now,
Very,
while I was waiting, he told me another story about Ashish Jha and his relationship with Dr. Biden. I mean, President Biden. So, President Biden had some one time COVID. COVID, he also suffered one time for the COVID. So then doctors came all to check him out. Everything, President has his own team of doctors here. Army of doctors you can call it. But he's very old. So then all the doctors were checking. Then he was asking, "Where is my doctor?" So he was asking, "Where is my doctor?" So people were, all the other doctors were confused, and they asked that, "What do you mean? Where is your doctor? There are all the doctors here." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I'm talking about that doctor." He didn't remember Ashi's name. Indian names are hard to remember, I guess. So he says, "I'm talking about that COVID doctor. Where is that doctor?" Then Ashish came and he checked and everything. He told him what's going on. So Ashish has very good relationship with President Biden, and this is a behind the scene story of one event his father, Ashish's father, was telling us yesterday. I thought it's worth mentioning to you guys too.
Yeah, Ashish has done quite a good job in times of COVID, giving.
Yes.
He also became popular in India, actually.
Yeah. And
Uh,
he is now returning back into academics uh, because India, and here the difference is that he had to take a huge pay cut to take up this government job. Probably his father was telling me that his salary is in the Harvard was somewhere around $1 million, and maybe he was making like 300 or 300K or something right now. So he had to take the pay cut to to serve for the government. So this is the life for you guys here. Those who serve for the government, they make way less money than you can make in the private industry. So that's why here in this country, when you do the government job like then it is called true service. That you are not, you are really serving the country, and you are taking the pay cuts. I
no,
hope this is
no,
true.
yeah, yeah, you're correct. In India also the same thing. The salary of a government servant is much less compared to the what we there in the private companies.
Mm,
So,
okay. I didn't know that. I thought that like IAS and IPS officers, they are well recognized than compared to you guys who were the scientists. It is reverse here. Here, the technical community has a huge clout, and basically there is no IAS and IPS here. That 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 type of administration is not here, because all the IPS officers, police department is run by lawyers. Similarly, administration is all done by lawyers. So uh, you have to go to the law school. You become lawyer, then you can be the policy makers in the government, or you can be the, if you are taking the criminal justice degrees in law, then you can be the public prosecutor or defense attorneys and all that. And then a public prosecutor, like for example, Kamala Harris was a public prosecutor. uh, Bill Clinton was a lawyer, as you all know. He was a lawyer. His wife Hillary Clinton was a lawyer. Obama was a lawyer. His wife was a lawyer. So, so basically, that's why they say that this country is run by lawyers. If you look at the senator here, probably more than 60% are lawyers. All the senators and all the we call House of Representatives we have here. So it's not run by IAS, IPS. All right,
here
that's all.
also, yeah. No, you'll be surprised that when I joined Baba Atomic Research Center, then we were taken as a what you call they call it the same rank as the IAS, means class one gazetted officer. And
Right.
what was my salary when I joined? Do you know that? 700 rupees.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so,
I
so
I
I went. I went and asked the financial team which was there in Bhava Atomic Research Center that why the salary is so much less. So he said, you are being paid 100 rupees more than the IAS. When
And which year was that?
1979.
Okay, so 1979? No, it cannot be 79. Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
1970. I joined BRC in 78, and 1 year I was. We had an advanced course in physics, and in 79, I was appointed as Class 1 gazetted officer, along being the scientific officer.
oh, okay.
So they said that
Because
your
because
salary is 100 rupees more than the IS officer. That
because
means,
when I came, yeah, when I came to Calcutta to visit you, and when I was trying to come to America in, I think it was 81 or 82, when you were
right.
living in when was that? Do you remember? It was 82, I think, or maybe
Yes, yes.
81. Yeah,
Yeah.
80,
Yes.
80. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I also started in 79 in Bihar government, and no, yeah, that's why I was asking that. My salary was also like about same thing, 700 or something like that. And 700 was nothing in those days. I mean, I was kind of shocked that if engineers make that kind of salary, how can somebody have a family with this kind of salary? And you are telling me that even it was not better even for the central
No,
government.
so
And
what they did is they gave us something, and the DA was very high that time. So they gave something, it came
okay,
out to be 1100 rupees. But
yeah,
I think that 1100 rupees at that time was not small. And
yeah,
one
okay.
could save money with that in that 11 rupees, you see. You say hardly in 1 anna or 2 anna, you get a 1 kg of rice,
Oh, okay. All
which
right.
is now 60 rupees, you see.
So,
60
so,
rupees or
so
100 rupees per kg.
So, guys, now you know what was the salary in 79. I told you the salary of Bihar state government, and he told you the salary of central government. 700 to 1100 range. That's how we were making when we started our career, both of us.
And they used to give us something extra, for the research and this and that. That was extra, but not a big amount. No. I was shocked by this that when he said that your salary is 100 rupees more than the IS officer
Yeah.
who joins the service. So then I said, okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. So, and what else? Yeah. And also in the August, we will have our here Mithila picnic in last week of August. I think we will get together somewhere in the park. We do 1 day khana pina. Everything happens in 1 day. All the kids come there for a day in the park.
you,
So
you
you guys are.
can you can invite Brenda also. She can join virtually at least.
Yeah, I think no. I plan to because it will happen in the daytime. So I'll video conference you guys that day and show you the picnic
Sure, sir.
highlight from there that day. So you guys
Yes, yes,
can
sir.
you
No,
guys
even
can
even Brenda now she has become she
part of the
has she,
she's a
part of
Mithila
the
girl
Mithila
now.
team.
She's a
Yes,
Mithila
yes.
girl. We need to find a Mithila boy for her if she likes. Yeah, she's part of our community now. You are right. So Brinda, you are invited. If you want to come to New Jersey, we'll have you will we will meet with the bigger community. So uh, you know you are invited.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, and same thing for all of you. Yeah, I'll send you guys the highlight of the meeting, and that day I'll share. Uh, my wife has she has to bring the corn, so she will take corn and watermelon. This is a big season of watermelon right now here. So everybody has something to bring that day. Like somebody will bring fish, somebody will bring goat meat, somebody will bring chicken, somebody will bring rice, like that. All the items which we have varieties for food. So It is all contributory, and then we'll have a day of get together. There are about 40 families, 30, 40 families, but not everybody comes. But at least we get to see each other one day.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and also going back to the one more scientific topic, Bhavanji, when you came last time, I didn't show you, uh, or I don't know if I mentioned to you or not. But Dr. Albert Einstein, you know that he was a professor at Princeton University, right?
No, your voice is getting cut.
Okay, what I was saying that Albert Einstein was professor at Princeton University, and when he was doing all those, when he came from Switzerland and Germany to America, he was living here in this town where you have
Hmm.
visited. So when you came last time, I didn't show you, but I found out that uh, his street where he used to live, now they have put a kind of a signboard that it's called Einstein Alley or something. It's very close by. So that is here in the town. So next time when you come, I'll show you. And for rest of you guys, that where I am living, was 50, 70 years back, Dr. Albert Einstein used to live in this town, and he used to teach in a at Princeton University, and of course he was doing a lot of research.
Oh, yeah. No, all great people stay in New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Not all. I'm I'm not.
So
And
Aryan, Kamya, Nitinjay, you have any question?
So I hope one day
No,
Aryan
sir.
can come also to New Jersey and become a big time professor in astrophysics.
Yes, yes, sir.
yeah, all of them, I think, Aryan, Kamya, and Mrityunjay, and even
Oh,
Brenda you become a science figure.
Brenda is already there. She is contributing in computer science. So I mean, now it is for the young professors like these kids. Hopefully they will be just one day big professors and changing the world, just like we are talking about.
Yeah. You see, when I was young, I had a lot of difficulty in trying to understand what is space time and all that. But you see, today Mrityunjay was talking about space time, so he doesn't feel the discomfort. But I still feel discomfort, when I talk space time. We are three-dimensional people, no, so we can't imagine what is four-dimensional.
Mm,
It's a very difficult thing.
difficult
And
to imagine. It's,
yes,
yeah, our brain is not wired to accept that yet. Maybe one
yeah.
day, because right now, I mean, now imagine even from the two dimension to three dimension, maybe it is easy for you and me because we have learned science, or all other kids who are here going through science. But even general people have difficulty from going two dimension to three dimension,
That
imagining.
is, yes. Yeah, they have, yes.
Yeah, so we take it for granted, but it's not that easy three dimension thing for them.
A lot of people, I'm telling many times, there are people whose numbers are in lakhs, means a million or something like that, in New York who don't think that Earth is round. It's very
Yeah,
difficult to convince them that Earth is round. But
yeah.
you
I
see,
mean,
our children like Kamya, Mrityunjay, and Aryan, you see, they don't question this. But you see, adults in New York, they think that Earth is not round.
yeah.
What a funny
So I
thing it
think
is.
there is a reason for that, and let's talk about it since we are today in the science topic, right? So, the science and religion are two different perspectives in life. For young people, I'm saying that's the the religion is that you start with faith, and those of us who are in the science believe in science. We don't believe in faith. We believe in fact, and fact and theories and what you call the reproduction of it. That's why we call it science. Science is reproducible. That is another difference between science and art. Science, you can reproduce it. If gravitation laws is there functioning, if anybody asks you, you can prove it, reproduce it, you can show them. But art, you can't. That's why it is art. It is not reproducible. It is like one-time thing, happens somebody's head or brain creation, and so going back to religion, the religion is, if you have any question, hold it for a minute. Let me finish what I'm trying to say. That religion, we were, when we started, science was not developed, right? If so, everything, whatever the knowledge was kind of concentrated in churches or temples or mosques. You can imagine that one. So everything was lumped up as a knowledge there, and in that process, people uh, started some questioning, but still, if some knowledge was established, questioning that knowledge, that if it's true or not, was considered a what you call bad thing, or what you call disrespectful. So it is like, if your elders have discovered something, how can you tell them wrong? That was the notion. So that is why when our elders, like 5,000 years back, thought that Earth is flat, and then subsequent generation has difficulty challenging their forefathers' discovery that Earth is not flat, and that is the problem you see in all religions right now. Christianity and Islam has a big problem because Islam and Christianity believes, their belief is that Earth is flat. Okay, that's how they start, and so there is a big contradiction. Now we all know for sure that science tells you, and you can prove it, that Earth is round, but here is the belief. So there are a lot of people who are rejecting science because of their belief, blind belief, I should call. So, as a scientific person, you and I have to always accept something which is true and reproducible. That is what should be. Just because Chaturanan Mallik is a old big scientist, he tells you that 2 plus 2 is 5, you should not accept it, because Chaturanan
Very
Mallik is,
correct.
yeah. So that
Malik
is what
sir,
I'm trying to, yeah. So you have to verify it yourself. Your brain, your mind has to accept it by all your induction. And if you disagree, then you challenge it. That's why it happens. Everything. Look at the electronic, if you go to the history of the atom structure, what happened? When we give credit to Dalton as the first atomic person, but in India, we already had a Rishi Kanad who first imagined the concept of atom, anu, and paramanu. Kanad says that he is the one who says that two atoms can be combined, and then he called what we call it atom as paramanu, and then molecule, what we call it, he called anu. And he said he even considered all those forces. I mean, Bhavanji, something you have to study on this one, that Kanad Rishi is not getting all the respect of physicist which he deserves, because his
No,
philosophical
Amarnath ji, one thing, this Kannada Rishi thing, no, this writing, I am not able to trace. Can you send me some link where I get
Oh,
it?
yeah. It is all available on online. I'll send you, and I'll send to this group also, because I want young scientists, these young kids, to understand that how our forefathers were also scientific. They were not all. There were different branches. Like, I mean, I have hats off to Rishi Kanad. He is the one who said that the whole world is made up of molecules, paramanu. That was his theory. And then two molecules can combine. And he even gave different, like, we call it bonding theory. There are different bonding theory. You guys will learn later on in school. We have learned it in our physics and chemistry classes in undergraduate colleges. There are different way of addition, and some of them he has already discussed there. He's talking about gravitation forces. He's talking not about the magnetic, but like that. That's why the things don't fall, why they fall towards Earth. So there were many, many things which were known to our Rishi, but what happened is that just like in the West, we have continued research going on. We didn't have that kind of environment. So some highly skilled person would have some, just like Einstein, imagination, and he can come up with conclude things theoretically, and then after that there will be a gap. Then you have to wait for a few centuries before the Aryabhat come or Bhaskaracharya come. You know, so that's why we have research where, but you can see that there is a pattern. Uh, Indian were much better even in the belief system than the Westerners, because we already geography we call it bhugol. So our concept of Earth was right from the beginning that bhu means earth, is goal means round. So it was known to India for a very long time that this earth is round. But even up to 16th century, at the time of Galileo, Christians have hard time accepting that earth is not flat. And that's why they crucified him. And even Muslims now, they have hard time accepting it, that earth is round. If you tell them, they would say that earth is flat.
No, but
So,
are you aware that the Quran has got a writing that the earth is flat or round? Does it have a writing
oh
like
yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is all there. That is why there is so much contradiction right now, because you
Hmm.
know that I mean the problem is with the Quran. What is the problem is like in Hindu religion or in the Christianity religion, if something is wrong, you can challenge and you can talk about it. Nobody has any problem with that, right? For example, you can disprove it. For example, if you don't want to accept all the values and things of Hinduism, that's okay for us. For example, we don't accept, uh, I mean, I personally don't accept that this world is created by God, right? I mean, coming from the scientific world, you have already heard enough theory from Mallik ji that how the magnetic force, how the this cosmos was created, and then how we accidentally materials have come to planet Earth, and we have been evolving, and finally we have evolved into different species. So we know that now. We have this history of science that nothing was created by somebody, some power, like all the religions tell you it is, right? And so we can criticize that, but Muslims cannot. A person who is in the Muslim faith, they cannot criticize anything. If they do it, they will have, they will be like somebody will kill them from their own. It is how bad it is, and that is why they have so much difficulty. So Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, if something we think is wrong, we can talk about it, but in Islam you cannot. And uh, and so very interestingly, I'll send you guys some link. There is a there is a very Quranic expert, is Sachwala. He spent 40 years working in Saudi Arabia. He's an Indian guy. Okay. So he was there. He very expert in the Quran, and he studied there. He was in Saudi Arabia. And then he discovered so many discrepancies, and then he started challenging it. So when he started challenging it, there were so much life threats on his life that he has to hide himself. And then he has been now openly challenging all the Muslim scholars to debate with him on the topics, since he he's well versed in Quran, and he's taking sloka by sloka, or you can call verse by verse, and explaining that what is wrong there. And in that process, you can see that all the people who are follow him, there is a big crowd who follow him, but their all faces are covered when they debate on his screen. They don't show their faces because because some Muslims will have threatened them that they would kill them, he and his followers. So this is the dogma they have. The Muslims still have, that you cannot criticize Quran, you cannot criticize Allah, you cannot criticize uh, you know Muhammad. We have freedom. We can criticize Jesus. We can criticize Buddha if something is not right. We can criticize Krishna, Rama, or whatever, but they cannot. So here is the problem with belief. So we have to challenge this kind of blind belief system, and then as a scientific community, we have to really go after truth. Whatever is the truth, we have to openly accept it. If we have not accepted it before, or if our forefather have not accepted it before, we should be open to accept it. If something is proven uh, 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 which is not in alignment with our old belief system.
Yeah, you are correct. Actually, yes, that is the scientific spirit. Once you have scientific spirit, no, it helps you in your daily life too, because then if you believe in something which is wrong, then you are likely to make wrong decisions in your life. So always, even if you have belief, it should be something. It should be reasonable. So now it is now 10:30. So what do you say, Pankaj?
Time to go for dinner.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I know it is Saturday night, but I guess the ladies would be mad very soon. Those of you who are married, that these guys are talking, talking, and talking.
Yes.
So so the so Kamya, Mrityunjay, do you have any questions?
Yes. Lastly, you have any question? Then
No, sir. I have only
No,
got
I don't have.
one doubt on 4D thing, and you told to tell me afterwards. That only one question I have.
Okay. No, but I want you all to ask questions in our daily life. There is something which you don't understand, then we'll try to understand them. Um, for bigger things, usually you need some good book to read and things like that. But things which appear in our daily life, we should try to discuss here. Brenda, do you have any question
I
in science?
No, all is good.
Good.
Sir, I have a question on daily life.
Yeah.
Sir, as you mentioned now, then in daily life, suppose like it happens with me. Suppose if I'm with my friends, or I'm with my roommate, or even if somebody I know for a couple of days, or even if a stranger also. Suppose if I am thinking something, suppose if I'm thinking of a song also, like after some time, after a few seconds, he's humming the same song and humming the same thing, speaking the same thing. So what is it something
Oh
related to
yeah,
quantum
that
entanglement or
happens.
something else? Or
That's true.
is
That
it like
happens most of the.
coincidence?
It is one of the most difficult question you have asked, by the way. But people are still working on it. What you call the telepathy means just by
Yes,
thought,
sir.
by thinking, you are able to influence others. So some people, but there is no proof yet. There is there is no proof yet that it has happens, because first of all, electric signals which are generated in our brain, they are a very small, they are in terms of less than millivolt, nanovolt kind of things. So how that can go to the other one? But then there are some people, they say that it happens, but it is not proven. So I won't be able to say what it is true or not. But most
So,
of the time,
did you hear about deja?
did you hear about?
Deja vu, sir.
Hello?
Deja vu.
Yes.
That is a yes. But that is a separate topic. Let's keep it because that's a huge thing. Not for the last part of the discussion. But I have another comment on Mrityunjay's question. Uh, Before I comment, I want to ask Mrityunjay, did you discuss with your friend who was coming with the same musical thing before that you are?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here is the answer to your question. One of the answer which I can think of. So basically, you were actually collaborating with your friend on a music or a say experiment or a thought. So your brain is also working, and his brain is also working to come up with a solution. Okay, since that's why I asked you a question that did you discuss? So suppose, for example, you guys have together planning to come up with a song. I'm giving your example. So you have started thinking, collaborating, and so your brain is already thinking about it from that collaboration meeting, and your friend's brain is also thinking. And now, since you two have the similar background, maybe a lot of other similarity, so when you are trying to compose the music, it is coming up. You both are coming up with a similar music.
No, sir. Actually, it was quite random actually because I think it was happened day after day, the day before yesterday. So we hadn't listened to any music or we hadn't talked about any music. We were just studying for exams, nothing else. We had just only one thing in mind, that's exams. So I was studying and I was humming up a song at I think 5 a.m. So we were
Hmm.
studying and we both were studying together at 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
I was like in my mind I was thinking about of that song, and he started singing humming that one, had the same one. Like we didn't have any context about the music at all.
Oh, okay. So then it is really strange. Then I don't have answer because I was thinking
So
that maybe
actually,
you
that
discussed
happens
it.
to me a lot of time too.
Yeah,
Many times that happens. Yeah, that is so common.
I
Yeah,
cannot
for
believe
me also, sir,
that.
many times.
I have never experienced this kind of thing. Have you ever experienced, Bonji, this kind of thing that you and somebody else thought on this, will come up with the idea or something? This is.
No, many people, experience like this. Even I might have experienced like this. But most of the time, if you analyze, you will find there might be some reason behind it. But I will tell you of one experiment, which is a proven experiment actually. That a gentleman, now these experiments have been done and they are reproduced also. In the sense that your brain, suppose, is thinking about something, then a particular area of your brain gets fired actually.
Hmm.
Suppose it's a music area, or it could be color area, optical area, audio area. Different areas are there in our brain. Now they put sensors on your head. Now people are able to say, suppose there is a question that I say, which color do you like? And suppose you have thought green, but you have not told. But these sensors, they can know from the firings in the brain, they can know that what you are thinking is green, if you are thinking green. But this happens only when, these experiments have been done and they are reproducible actually. But ultimately, the signals are so small that it is very difficult to imagine that one person, you know, mm, can influence another one. But then there are experiments going on. So it will be
Sir,
very difficult to say anything yes or no to your question.
Sir, so there's one more thing that I observed from these happenings, that this happens to mostly in the case of songs. Like even if you have a stranger standing beside you, if you are thinking of a song, you start humming the same thing. But when the, like, suppose a topic comes out, or when a word, suppose a word comes out, common word from two people, that thing happens only in case of friends or families. But the song thing happens like in a wide range, even with strangers also.
Yeah, until it is proven, I will keep mum.
So
We
these are
usually
my
do not think a
observations.
lot about this. Actually, we don't really talk about this because we think it is a coincidence itself. So,
Yes, we have to prove this that. No, but the question which you have asked, there are many people who have this view, and many people are experimenting to prove this. They call it synchronization between human beings. The experiments which are conducted goes under the synchronization between human beings. But I have nothing to say more than this.
Sir, actually, I always thought that it might be related to something at quantum level.
No, 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 no. Don't get to the quantum level. No, there is nothing quantum about it. It's basically you see, all the firing which takes place in the brain, they are electrical signals actually. So ultimately, if one brain has to communicate with another brain, it has to be, electrical in nature actually. But question is that that signal is so small that it's very difficult to right now to assume that one brain impacts the other brain. So let us wait. I think maybe you can take up in your future such kind of experiments to
so the
prove
theories
prove
of
it false or
brain is
true.
really interesting.
Yeah, brain is very interesting. Still, we don't understand very much about it. The
We don't know
present,
anything about it.
no, we know quite a lot about it. I think you'll be surprised. We know quite a lot about it, but
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 there
what
is a
we know
lot
is
more.
only 1% of what needs to be known.
So that's what I meant.
So let us see.
Yeah, more work for future scientists.
चलिए तो now let's call it a day, Pankaj ji.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Okay, sir.
everybody.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Amarnath ji.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Nice to see you all.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
I
We'll
will
meet
call it a
Night.
next
Okay,
day.
time.
so bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.